would you like to fight for your very survival and day-to-day life? Today's guest will talk about his experiences at his zombie survival LARP, where he wrote and directed games for the past 5 years. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now, join our host, Charles Leahy, to meet the new next director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved in this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you will meet on this show are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring you this program with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves and the productions they've created and give you a chance to get to know them and enjoy some of the work they've done during this semester. Our guest today is a LARPer with over 6 years of experience and even more in tabletop. We would like you to meet today's guest, Connor McDaniel.
Thank you.
So what exactly is LARPing?
LARPing, or as it's called, live-action role-playing, is when a bunch of nerds effectively get together and rent out a campsite or a park for a weekend, sometimes a week, maybe even a month. I've seen that. And they'll dress up as a character. Then they'll go around as that character and interact with other players as then their characters. Or maybe sometimes they just want to hit their friends over the head with a foam stick. It's either way, it's usually just good fun. I'm personally not a fan of the fantasy genres, but I found home when I started playing this game that you're seeing right now, which is a zombie survival LARP. And I kind of fell in love with it. I loved it so much that I even began writing for them back in late 2010. And I only recently stopped writing for them because of a scheduling conflict that I had, and it kind of dismayed me that I couldn't continue writing. Overall, I've always had fun. I've made plenty of good friends. And it's just been a good experience to have. Here are pictures of our various friends and examples of how combat generally goes. My good friend who lent me a GoPro so that I could go out and film it is quite nice.
That's interesting. You mentioned zombies. Is it based off any popular television programs like Walking Dead or anything?
Closer to after the Romero movies.
Okay, so old school zombie movies.
Old school zombies.
That's interesting. So why did you decide to take TV1?
Honestly, it was kind of a bet. I wasn't sure whether or not I could go back to school. I tried going to college right out of high school, and I ended up flunking every single course I took for 2 semesters straight before finally I learned that school wasn't for me. So I joined the workforce, realized that I also hated that, and eventually found myself wanting to go back to college. So I sort of took this course in order to try to see if I'm ready to go back to college.
Like a fun introductory.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty fun course overall.
Interesting. So what are some of the things you learned in this course?
Honestly, when I started taking this course, I had pretty much known a lot of the stuff that we had learned until it came down to editing, in which case I kind of dreaded editing. It was scary to me. And then when we actually started working on it, I realized that I actually kind of liked editing. funny as that is, was pretty exciting. Other things that we learned that I didn't think were all that necessary was the 6 guidelines of good composition. I'd kind of just been the person that always was like, let me put the camera here, just point it and shoot it, and it'll be fine. No one will really care. But after we had learned that and I'd gone out in the field to actually start shooting stuff for it, kind of learned that that it's sort of important. But overall, I realized pretty soon I was realizing that I was actually having more fun filming my projects than I was actually just working on them. Yeah.
Interesting. Can you tell us about your projects?
Well, first up is my student studies project, which I had no idea the kind of work that would go into this seemingly small project, creating the storyboards, the diagram, the shot list with the camera positions. Those were fairly easy for me to do, but when it came to shooting, I was not ready for all the shooting because honestly, I was stupid and did it all on my own. Next, my teacup project. This was a much easier project in comparison to the previous one, whether that be my experience I'd gained from the first project or the fact that I used somebody else to do it. Either way, I learned the importance of filming cutaway shots because when I was editing, I had missed a couple during this, and at the end, it kind of made my thing look choppy. Third, my nature project. I enjoyed shooting this because I had just learned the 6 guidelines to good composition and attempting to shoot for those in the woods. We had also learned camera techniques such as shift focus and poor man's dissolve like you see here. I had fun with this project because it was our first time without a script or any sort of instructions of what to shoot, or so I could do what I wanted. Lastly, my orange project. I had a lot of fun with this one, using what I had learned from my previous projects and implementing them into this one. This project was great because we had to go all the way from thinking up our own idea to writing a script to bring it to life with filming and finally editing it down. The only thing I had a hard time with was trying to keep my project within a specified amount of time.
So what do you think was your best project?
Definitely my best project, I'd have to say, was my orange project. Using everything we had learned so far, I had so much fun with it. And I hope it shows kind of in my finished work. The story is of a simple businessman that goes around the same routine every day until one day there's just an orange that seems to follow him wherever he goes. I particularly like this shot where he turns around because an orange had tormented him by being on the shower the other day. But as he turns around and doesn't find it, but as he closes it, he begins brushing his teeth to realize the orange is there and runs out. It was funny to shoot that shot because I was literally standing in my own bathtub just waiting for him to open it so I could do it. But anyways, I had a hard time keeping this within the time frame because if I had used all the shots that I did take, it would probably be closer to a 10 to 15 minute movie.
What are the most important skills you've learned, and how do you think you'll put them to use?
Definitely the most important skills that I learned were in the editing field. I had no idea what I was doing when it came to editing coming in. The most things I'd edited were like small videos on YouTube that really never garnered much more than like 10 views. And it was kind of exciting to actually start learning how to actually edit as opposed to just slap 2 things together that didn't seem to make any sense. As for using in the future, like I said before, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for the future. I'm not even sure I'm going to take the next class at this point, but it seemed like I had enough fun that I might just do it.
Well, today we got to meet someone who shared with us what LARPing is. As a new TV director, he hopes to apply what he has learned at NCC to hopefully one day write for television. We would like to thank Connor McDaniel for joining us today.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed meeting one of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you, and have a great day. That wasn't too bad.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Charles Leahy, directed by Edward Morley. I'm your announcer, Elijah McVeigh. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.